What's going on, guys? Check back with another awesome Blu-ray purchase. This is just a small little bundle I've picked up within the last week. Just a few titles. Thought I'd share them here with you. Something on the comedy side. I got a couple things I picked up from the Shop Factory, their Select series, and actually all of them from that, except for one, which was from Warner Archive, and I'll control it right now, which was Night Shift. Uh, with Henry Winkler and Michael Keaton and Shelley Long. This I actually had this one on DVD. It's funny actually, because I remember this movie from years and years ago, seeing it on cable, just bits and pieces, and then I can't remember. It was like last year, maybe the year before. I can't remember, but the drive-in I go to, Skyline, actually had this double feature. I think with Beetlejuice one night, and so I got to actually see it again, first time in years, and really enjoyed it. How funny it was, and I guess this is Michael Keaton's like first film debut, and he plays a sporting character. He's a funny guy. Henry is really the main character in this. But anyways, I saw that, and so I went online and I picked up the DVD. Lo and behold, right after that, Warner Archive announced they're releasing it on Blu-ray. So I finally went ahead and pulled the trigger. It's fairly cheap to pick up. Nothing really special on this. Which is a Warner Archive. You're not going to get anything special on it. You're just grateful and lucky to get the movie on Blu-ray, which this is. But it's a real fun movie. If you like two down on the guys working in a mortuary who decide to become pimps, the laughs just write themselves. Actually, I think this would probably be a good double feature with Dr. Detroit. I mean, funny pimps. You can't go wrong with funny pimps. But it's also got a sweet side to it. So, if you haven't checked this out, I highly recommend if you like Michael Keaton and you want to see his earlier work when he's, his really funny stuff. I think he was a stand-up comic, in his early days before he started doing movies. And again, this was very early Michael Keaton, where he's just the co-star, kind of the funny sidekick to Henry Winkler, the straight man. But it works out very well. A lot of fun. I highly recommend check it out. Now, sticking with that, we have Michael Keaton's starring debut, which I believe was right after this, and that was Mr. Mom. Another 80s classic, which is well known. It's the term Mr. Mom is in the lexicon. There's times I've considered myself Mr. Mom. And, there's a lot of things I can relate to watching this film. Not to the extent, obviously, but, this is a good film. And I rewatched it after I got it, and I'd forgotten that the people that were in this movie, I mean, even in a small role, Christopher Lloyd and Martin Mull. Actually, Martin Mull's like the heavy, but I forgot Christopher Lloyd was in this movie. In a real small bit part, but still pretty fun. And there's a lot of memorable things in here. Some of it may not play as well now as it did back in 1983, I think it was, but it's still fun. This was Shop Factory. Their select title. This was a collector's edition. Not much on here. There's a couple interviews, a little behind the scenes, a little making of film, which was interesting. You had pretty much all the main cast. For the most part, I think, obviously no Terry Gardner, Martin Mull, and no Michael Keaton, but I guess the supporting main cast, if you will, doing interviews on here, along with the producers and whatnot. It was enjoyable, very good listen. It's got a reverse cover. It's just the disc with a reverse cover. I'm hard time talking. And there you go. This was the slip cover art, which I did not get. And I believe it, this was picked up, not directly from Shop Factory, I got this off Amazon. And again, it was marked down, animal sales, pretty cheap. So I mean to pull the trigger on this for a while. Actually, when it first was announced, but I never got around to it. Seemed like a good time, Amazon had a lot of their titles marked down. So I picked this up. But this is, it's still got a lot of funny bits. Michael Keaton is still very good. He does a good job in his first lead carrying it. But again, an 80s classic. it was fun to go back and revisit this. I had not seen it in years. And it's still, to me, it still held. It was still enjoyable. I laughed at it. It was fun. Next up, another 80s comedy. This one actually is from Kino Lorber and is also another upgrade, as I have the DVD for this. And this is DC Cab, starring Mr. T and Adam Baldwin. Not one of the Baldwin brothers, but the well-known Baldwin who's not related to the Baldwins. You may know him from his biggest thing he did recently, I think, was the TV series Chuck, where he was very good in that. But you'll see him as the heavy in usually the heavy in a lot of films. He's also in Independence Day. He's like a side character. I think one of his big starring roles was, I want to say, My Bodyguard, for another 80s movie, which I should probably dig out sometime. I do have that in my collection somewhere. But anyway, so Kino Lorber announced this one. This is one I've been holding off for a while. Wanted to pick up because I do have the DVD. And again, one of these movies that it's an 80s staple. It's staple 80s. You got a great cast, a lot of comics or comedic actors. I mean, you've got Mr. T in here. You've got Marsha Warfield before Night Court. You've got, I don't know his name, the actor's name, but he was the guy who played Sergeant, was it Wojciechowicz? What was his name? But he was in the Barney Miller TV series. I can't think of his name. You've got Bill Maher is in here. Gary Busey. The Barbarian brothers, I think the two muscle body twins that were really popular around that time. I believe that's them. Irene Cara, here was a cameo, but it was fun. It's silly, it's cab drivers. One of those 80s, you've got the rundown, the loser business competing with the top-notch business, and they're trying to make right, blah 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 blah. And Adam Baldwin's the guy who's going to make this better. His dream is to own a cab company. Aim high, but it's fun. Again, there's a lot in here. I'm sure will not, memory serves, because it's been a while since I've seen this one too, but would not hold up today. But for what it is, it's fun. If you don't hold it to today's standards. See, we've got just an audio commentary, some radio spots, and a trailer. Not a whole lot on special features, and it's pretty much just Kino Lorber straight, nothing reversible, but it's fun. It's an 80s film. On a side note, years and years ago, I actually had the pleasure of meeting Mr. T. This is when he had released a comic book series way back in the late 90s, I think it was, in our local comic shop. He was coming to sign autographs. And I got in line to do this, and he was actually running late. He apologized and said his driver had got lost coming from the airport. But he was so gracious, so kind, and so short. I was surprised at how small Mr. T was. I mean, not small. I mean, he's still a big guy, but I was expecting him to be a taller guy. But I could basically look him in the eye. So I was really surprised. But again, he was very friendly, very gracious. Just a very sweet guy, very humble. He definitely was not Clubber Lang, I'll tell you that. He's not the guy you see. He wasn't B.A. Baracus. He's not the guy you see, the big personality. He was a very humble, sweet, down-to-earth guy, and it was very fun meeting him. The next up was a new Shout Factory release, and that just came out. Mark Harmon in Summer School, another 80s classic, which I just actually rewatched today, which I had not seen this one in years, and I forgot Kirstie Alley was in this film. And I still had some good laughs. Again, there's probably no, I don't think there's too much that would be considered, offensive or out of line for today's standards. But then again, what do I know? But it was still fun. I mean, it's one of these, again, you've got the gym teacher doesn't want to be in school. Being stuck teaching summer school with teaching remedial English with the losers of school, the outcast, if you will, and bad teacher makes good, teaches the class to to do the right thing and be themselves, yada yada. Cliche maybe, but fun. There's some good laughs in here. It was this is one actually I've been wanting to get for a long time, and it was just not available, at least that I could find. And then again, just recently, a few months ago, Shout Factory announced this was up, and I got it on pre-sale immediately. Actually, I think this was announced the same day as their alligator films. So, I picked this up right away. I was very happy because this was very fun, and I didn't even realize actually that it was directed by Carl Reiner, so that was interesting too. And on here, so you have a new School's In for Summer, which is an interview with actor Richard Steven Horvitz. You have an audio commentary by Carl Reiner and Mark Harmon, but I think that's probably poured over from a previous release, because you have another Inside the Teacher's Lounge featurette, which is really standard definition, and I think that came from a previous DVD release also. And then Summer School Yearbook, which I didn't get a chance to look at that one. So I'll have to see what that one is. And then a trailer and a photo gallery. Nothing, just basically a little picture on the disc inside. Nothing too fancy. No reverse cover, but there's your image on the back. So, but still, again, another good 80s comedy with Mark Harmon. I believe this was his first film, or at least his first starring role. From what I gather from the documentary, he hadn't done any comedy, so it's the first time he'd done comedy. And it comes off really well. There's some nice throwaway lines. I think they're just played really well. I enjoyed it. Again, worth a watch. So he's a nice 80s theme here. Now, the big set, if you will, is one I picked up from eBay, because it's an out-of-print Shout Factory title. And this is something I have been wanting to get a hold of for years. And one of these things that just kind of never... So you want to do it, but you never get around to pulling the trigger, or something comes up, or whatever. Never being able to do it. But something that brought it to my attention again, and I was like, well, I'm gonna look for this. And sure enough, I found it, mostly, and that is the Pink Panther 6-film collection. This was from Shout Factory, out of print. Now, I kind of made a mistake when I ordered this off eBay. And I say that in the fact that I thought I was ordering a Blu-ray, because I got this for a really good price. I was really surprised. I want to snatch that up right away. I didn't really notice that I ordered the DVD set. And then I went back after I realized that and looked at the Blu-ray set, and the cost in that was astronomical. So I'm okay with getting the DVD set. Now, the thing about the Pink Panther. This is a series, I'm almost ashamed to say this, I've never seen. Save one film. One film out of this entire collection. And I see you all, I can hear you rolling your eyes at me right now. The one film that I've seen was The Curse of the Pink Panther. I know. I've not seen an actual Peter Sellers Pink Panther. And I saw The Curse because it was on like HBO when I was a kid. It played a lot, and that's the one I happened to see. I never saw any of the ones other than that. Bits and pieces and clips. I've always wanted to check them out and see them. But I know that for years and years, different distributors, different rights, and you can never get everything put together in a collection, or very hard. Some are out of print, some are not out of print. I know there was a big, years ago, was like a big, I think maybe a VHS set at one time, but then it was a big DVD collector's set that came out years ago. I remember seeing that. It was a really nice box. But I think it only had 5 of the Peter Sellers films. But then some years back, I don't know when it was, Shout Factory managed to get the 6 Peter Sellers films in here. So I was able to pick this up. Now, I do look forward to checking these out, and I'm also going to go back and check out the other lesser films, is what I'm told. That being Inspector Clouseau, which I've heard is horrible. Going back and checking out, again, Curse of the Pink Panther and seeing Son of the Pink Panther. Once I get through, check this set out. Now, nothing really fancy about this set. It's just got the 6 films, and there's the description in the back here. And that's really it. I think there's maybe some, I don't think there's any special features on here, not actually. Usually pretty much bare bones. But it's just a flip. There's your films. So you got like 2 films per disc, 3 discs. Nothing really fancy. And the reverse artwork is just the credits. But again, the fact that I can get these films together, I'm okay with that. So I can get a chance to finally check these out, because this is one thing that I've wanted to see for years and years, and just never got around to. And now I have no excuse. It's in my possession. I can check these out, and I plan to. So that is it for this pickup. I have a few other things still to come. I just keep pre-ordering and pre-ordering. But announcements, I keep pre-ordering stuff. And actually, as of tonight, I think Severin is going to go, like in an hour, is going to go back live. They've been shut down around Valentine's Day. They have a big sale at midnight. I'm going to check out what they have for sale. See if anything good come up there. Because my last order that I showed you, that I forgot to mention, the Severin order that I got from them, they actually gave me a $20 coupon, which was pretty cool. So see if I can put that to use. But here soon, I should have a couple of my other Scream Factory pre-order should be coming in soon, I believe. Howling pre-order should be coming probably this week, maybe, and then with the next week, the Alligator release. I'm looking forward to picking those up, or actually for those to come to me. I've already bought them, waiting for them to come to me. And a few other things here scattered about. Like I said, I've got a list of stuff pre-ordered. I lost track of it all. Sometimes it surprises me when it shows up. But that is it for now. That is it for the collection. If you like this, click the thumbs up, share, subscribe. Let me know if your thoughts on these 80s comedies, and what you think of Night Shift, Mr. Mom, DC Cab, or Summer School, or your thoughts on the Pink Panther. What's your favorite Pink Panther film? Let me know. I'm looking forward to checking these out. Like I said, I have no experience with the Pink Panther other than the various film clips I've seen over the years and so many things. So I'm looking forward to actually checking out the genius that was Peter Sellers. So until next time, this is Chuck saying, I'll see you on the other side.